Good morning, Virgo. This is David, your friendly neighborhood astrologer and numerologist, and of course, tarot reader. And I am here to give you your 7-day reading. Now, as I was choosing out the stones before I rolled for your sign, there's two stones that popped out. There's this andesite, andesite, or something like that. And this rock right here is usually formed from magma. It's a very coarse stone, and of course it's flat. Now, one of the things that I've noticed about this stone, whenever it pops up, is that it speaks about a situation in which you're going to have to rapidly cool yourself down. And this is especially after so much pressure is exerted on you. And of course, the other stone that popped out is the rose quartz. So this is known as a love stone or the love stone. It's a stone that emits a very, very strong vibration of love, unconditional love, joy, warmth, and also healing. Now, this is going to assist you with self-healing, but it's also going to assist you with being able to cool yourself rapidly in the heat of the moment. And it's also going to bring faith and healing to all of you, to anybody who's in your vicinity. So basically, you're going to be emitting this kind of energy and are going to need to emit this kind of energy in the future. Now, as I was shuffling the cards, I seen the frog. And the frog is one of those cards that it describes healing. If you've listened to that one song by Pitbull, he says, "Let it rain over me," right? That's exactly what it's denoting. Now, rolling the die, it landed on your sign, but there's two signs that show themselves very prominently. It is Cancer and Aries, and so there's a situation in the future that you're going to have to be very assertive in facing, but it's going to require love and nurturing and caring in order for you to be able to do that. So let's go ahead and look at your astrology. Let's see, Virgo. You have a couple of planets that are opposite of you, and that's Mercury and Neptune. Now, Mercury, you're gonna have whatever planets you have in your sign, you're going to have to bring those together with your thought process. Now, right now it might be difficult. You might either be too spiritual or too literal, too analytical, I would say. And if we pay attention to how the planets are positioned, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, there's a I would say a very, very obsessive need to have fun or to build things up in terms of having fun. And of course, when you have Saturn and Jupiter in your sixth house in Aquarius, we have to pay attention to whatever it is that we've well, as a Virgo, you have to pay attention to what's been said online in your community, things like that. You kind of have to restrict yourself a little bit. Actually, restrict yourself a lot, especially with Jupiter there. You have to be careful of what you say, and you have to be careful of how you express yourself. Organize yourself when it comes to online, because we don't want that to come back and bite you in the ass, right? And then, of course, you have Venus, who just entered your seventh house. You have the sun that's been there for at least a couple of days. And you also have Chiron. So there's a lot of things in relationships that are going to set you off. They're going to set your triggers. And those triggers are actually going to be a form of unlocking how you can, move forward in your relationships. And of course, there's going to be that necessary need to express love within those relationships, as well as being able to cool yourself off when necessary. You might want to blow up, but believe me, Virgo, what you're doing, or what you're undergoing, of course, is a transformation of the self, a transformation of your own values, which I know you've been undergoing for a little while now. I want to say a couple of years. And of course, what you should be focusing on is not too much in the negativity of those problems, but actually dreaming and communicating about where you want to go in the future. I know your heart is set on nurturing whatever potential you have within your job sector. This is really where your feelings are lying here within these next day, like 1 day or 2 days or 3 days, I would say. Right now, I feel like you're kind of in the middle of that feeling, and you're going to be able to express how you feel very confidently in the near future. And that's to pretty much anybody who you meet. So that's a good thing. And of course, you're actually, I would say that take a look to see where the beauty lies in your relationships, because that's actually going to help you. And pay attention to your intuition and what that tells you at that moment. Yeah, I definitely feel like there's certain bits of wisdom that are coming your way. With the appearance of the elephant, take pride in your passion. Take pride in your intuition. Second of all, take pride in your ability to understand the wisdom that's coming your way. I feel like a lot of you guys are staying up late at night, and I very much feel that a lot of you Virgos are connecting to the universe. Now, I feel like a lot of the stress is going to come from the, I would say, the interruption to your sleep patterns, right? And this is because your mind's racing. There's a lot of different things that are going to be going on, and you're going to have to process a lot of energy. I mean, not process a lot of energy, but process a lot of information, and that takes energy. All right, so 2 cards came out. There's the inability to function within the group dynamic, and that's because whenever you have downloads of energy like this, hanging around the group dynamic is only going to make you anxious. It's basically going to be putting you in an energy of looking out, and that's not going to help your ability to connect to yourself and to heal yourself. A lot of the times, peer pressure doesn't really allow us to understand what we need to do, and of course, it's going to leave us not just floundering, right? But it's also going to leave us being unproductive and not really moving forward with what we need to do. So what we do need to do in terms of how we work with this energy, Virgo, is to understand where our passions lie and lying in wait until intuition lets us know how to move forward. Virgo, this is your key energy that needs to take place, and that requires a certainness when the opportunity shows up. So let's go ahead and find out. Okay, so friends have something to do with it. I would say keep your circle small for now. This is what's going to allow you to move forward into a new direction. Sometimes we get placed in situations where obstacles won't let us go down a certain path, but as the wisdom of the elephant goes, sometimes those obstacles are placed into our path in order to lead us down some type of detour to avoid danger in the future, or to avoid danger along that path. All right. So there's a lot of things that are being turned on their head. I believe you are the third sign that's gotten this card. This card seems to be coming out a lot right now. And the thought process is very important for the changes that are going to go on, regardless of how things are flipped over and how the situations don't really have any, how would I say, don't really make sense. Just trust your intuition and where your intuition takes you. All right, the Singer of Courage. I feel like some of you guys, some of you Virgos are not experiencing very much courage right now. I very much feel that there's a necessity for you to connect to courage and connect to your intuition in order to gain courage. So I feel like a lot of you are still trying to engage in that group dynamic, and it's just raising your anxiety. It's just raising your frustration in that sense. And it's going to cause you to get angry at various different things that are not changing. And I feel like these things need to change in order for you to move forward into the next portion. Yeah. So focus in on your dreams. I feel like a lot of you have been forgetting about what it is that you might be dreaming about. I mentioned that with Mars and the North Node in Gemini. But even though you've forgotten your dreams, Ive the Retriever hasn't forgotten your dreams. He's been holding on to those, and he's been holding them very, very close. This card is 41. And so when we get this card adding up, what happens in the home sector is very important. And that's what's going to lead the way to the change in mindset. Now, you have a decision to make. You have a decision to make, Virgo. And with Indy, there's a little bit of indecisiveness about this decision of whether you want to be in that group dynamic or whether you need to be by yourself for a second in order to come to this conclusion. Now, what lies on the path of getting into this group dynamic is worry, it's fear, it's frustration, not being able to reach your dreams or even to discuss your dreams, and unproductivity, not just at work, but at home too. All right, tell us what this topsy-turvy is about. Okay, so it definitely has to do with strategizing and using the knowledge that you've held already. It's being very analytical of what's going on, and trying to bring in the spiritual knowledge that you've gained so far and melding it with your logical energies and the things that you've already thought about in great detail. So one of the things that's not allowing you to have courage is the unbalance, some things that are off balance is the best way that I can describe it. Maybe you've been giving too much, not receiving enough. I very much feel that, Virgo, that's what's knocking you off your courage right now. And of course, with this card being 6, this is something that's been happening on an everyday level. I feel like you need to make the decision to move in a direction where you're going to be more happy. And of course, that judgment needs to take place soon enough. Now, that judgment also has to do with following your dreams, following your passions, and not letting anybody else interfere with that. Now, with that being said, there's going to be a necessary need to transmute any negative energy that's around you. I very much feel that if you very much feel that you're off balance and not really feeling like you have faith, get yourself one of these rose quartz. Actually, get yourself a very, very big rose quartz. Get yourself like this size right here, stone of rose quartz. Have it in your home. Have it in your room, right? Because you want that energy to be able to infuse itself within you, and so that you can transmute that energy from negative to positive. This is a road that you're going to be traveling, and that you have been traveling so far. It's going to lead to happiness in the end, but it all depends on what energy you draw from the spiritual world and what energy you draw from the physical world, and how you blend and merge those two together. And I will say that in the end, it does lead to happiness. It leads to stability. This is the card of the 4 of Wands, and as you can see, this has to do with the home sector, as well as the Ace of Wands, taking action. So with that being said, I am going to go ahead and roll the die to see what energy you have in the future and what you can use to your advantage. Cancer. So caring, nurturing, definitely get yourself a rose quartz in that case. And always seeking the truth, Virgo. That's what's going to help you. Paying attention to the details, as I've mentioned. And also, if you need to, in the future, you're going to be able to reach out to your community, right? To the people that maybe you've associated with before. Once you balance yourself and you put yourself into the space where that group dynamic won't make you anxious anymore, where you can actually stand it, is going to be the key to understanding how to move forward from that point on. But that requires for you to make the decision. Venus. All right, so what does Venus have to do? Okay, so seventh house. Hmm. Seventh house, relationships. Making sure you don't blow up in the face of various different triggers that you might experience in your relationships. Follow your intuition, Virgo. Follow your heart. Always be you. Be that unique you that you know you are, because that's going to be a very, very important aspect of what it means to strategically move yourself through this. And yeah, decision's going to have to be you. This decision is hinging on completion of an old cycle. Not sure how this old cycle is going to end. I do know that it has to do with trusting your intuition. It has to deal with the number 11, and it also has to deal with you making a series of decisions on the everyday level. Sixes are popping out, sevens are popping out, 9 is popping out, and 5 specifically. So thank you, Virgo. I hope this reading was helpful to you. If you feel that you resonated with it, like, share, subscribe. Go ahead and pass it on to any of your Virgo friends, and this might actually help them in the process as well. So this is your reading. I will go ahead and see you in 7 days, Virgo. And I hope that you guys are well and can use this information to make the necessary changes. With that, I am David with Tarot and Astrology for All, signing out.